In this lecture, I'm going to talk about CFCE or Certified Forensic Computer Examiner certification. At first, I will introduce this certification and then I will talk about core competencies for the certification and different phases of that. We will talk about initial requirements and different levels of certification. At last, we will have a look at the salary for the job. The qualification program for the Professional Forensic Computer Examiner is offered by IACIS and it focuses on several core competencies in the computer forensic field. This certification evaluates the fundamental knowledge of an applicant in the recovery and examination process of computer forensics data. Applicants are judged on their appropriate awareness of both hardware and software abilities. This program is comprised of two phases. The first phase is peer review phase. In this phase, candidates complete 4 scenario-based problems guided by a forensic professional through a mentor process whereby candidates can submit reports or assessment documents after completing each practical exercise. Candidates have 30 days to complete each problem and they must pass all 4 problems to be eligible to enter the next phase. The other phase is certification phase. In this phase, an independent exercise wherein the candidate must complete the practical exercise and write the final examination. Each certified CFCE member must meet the criteria for recertification every 3 years. Certification phase consists of the following elements: hard drive practical problem, 30 days to complete a knowledge-based objective test, 14 days to complete. Entry into the certification phase is automatic once the peer review phase has been completed. The candidate will have 7 days to start the problem with the hard drive and 30 days to finish the problem. The 44-day clock will start 7 days after the peer review process has been completed, whether the applicant logs or not. The applicant will then go straight into the information-based test, which consists of 100 questions of general forensic information. The written exam consists of questions including real-false, multiple choice, matching, and short say questions. Candidates must obtain a minimum of 80% on the exam and practical to pass. Failure to achieve the requisite score will result in failure, and the CFCE certification will not be awarded. The CFCE software is an autonomous process that must be performed by candidates independently. Once both phases have been successfully completed, candidates will be required to complete a notarized form declaring that the practical examination and written examination were completed without assistance from anyone. Applicants who fail either the practical test or the written final examination will not be automatically re-examined, and in the next qualification period the candidate will retake final written test without charge, practical or final examination, and IACIS would allow each applicant to be re-examined once. Let's talk about different core competences area that address in the CFCE program. There are 7 competency areas. The first one is the pre-examination procedures. As you can see in slide, this area contains different things. The first one is knowledge of rules of evidence and the IACIS Code of Ethics. and professional conduct as applicable to computer forensic. The second one is knowledge of proper computer search and seizure methodologies, to include photographic and documentation procedures. Third one is ability to define on-scene steps taken for the preservation of physical and volatile digital evidence, including the proper handling of mobile phones. And the last one is ability to establish, maintain, and document a forensically sound examination environment. The second area of competency is computer fundamentals. So applicants should recognize and understand the evidential potential of various computer hardware and small-scale devices. He should understand the BIOS, UEFI, and boot sequence, and also should have understanding of binary, decimal, and hexadecimal numbering systems, and knows what is the bits, bytes, and nibbles. Understanding the difference between logical and physical files, and for example have the knowledge what happens when media is formatted. The other area of competency is about partition schemes, and applicants should have knowledge about partition systems and have ability to identify current partition schemes, and also have knowledge of individual structures and system areas used by different partition schemes. Understand the difference between a primary and extended partition, and also have knowledge about define globally unique identifier and explain its application. The other area that an applicant should have good knowledge about is a file system. So applicants should understand file system concepts and system files, and have a good understanding of the structure of different file systems such as FAT, exFAT, or NTFS, as well as be able to identify file systems used by Apple and Linux, and good knowledge of deleted files, including how they are identified in their respective file systems. So applicants should have a good knowledge about file system, because it's very important to finding the deleted file and something that may be hidden in the system. Data recovery. Again, applicants should have good knowledge about data recovery, understand hashing and hash sets, ability to generate and validate a forensic image of media, ability to capture data from random access memory, and also understanding file headers. Also understanding file fragmentation, ability to extract data from component files, and ability to generate and validate a forensic image of media. Nice. It's about data recovery. The applicant should have knowledge about operating system. The most popular operating system is Windows. An applicant should have good knowledge about Windows. For example, should know the locations of Windows objects. Also, he or she should know what is the Windows registry, and be able to identify and extract a specific data from the registry. You know, the Windows registry is a hierarchical database that stores low-level settings for the Microsoft Windows operating system and for applications that are using the registry. And the kernel, device driver, services, security accounts manager, and user interface all use the registry. And the registry is the most important database to find some clue. The other things that you can see in this slide is that the applicant should be able to analyze the recycle bin. Furthermore, the applicant should be able to analyze the Windows temp caches, be able to analyze shell link files and jump lists, be able to extract and examine event logs, and understanding the meaning of shadow copy volume services. And finally, ability to locate, mount, and examine virtual drive files. Now is the time for presentation of finding. The examiner now has some finding, and he or she should be able to draw conclusion based on examination findings, and also be able to report findings using industry standards and also using technically accurate terminology. He or she should be able to explain complex technical concepts or process in terms of easily understood by non-technical people. This slide gives you some specification about the certification. The skill level is intermediate. The cost is $750 for the certification. It should be re-certificated every 3 years, and the goal of this certification is demonstrating advanced understanding of computer forensics concepts and skills. And the average salary for computer examiner at the beginning level is $70,000 US dollar, and you can be employed as a digital forensic investigator or information security analyst or forensic computer analyst or also security consultant. Many job related and security may need this certification. So it's very good certification to enter the job market.